Hello boys and girls, it's Mrs Bramford here and I'm going to talk you through your English work for this week. So this week we are going to be looking at The Train Ride, a book that we read in January this year. We're going to be using the same pattern to write our own poem about a walk that you will be going on Monday. So this week there is a link on your plan that will show The Train Ride by June Crebbins being read to you on YouTube. Have a read of that. Remind yourself of the story and of the pattern that we are going to be using later in the week. So just to whiz through here, your structural features this week, we're thinking about sequencing sentence following a pattern. Language features are the main things we're looking at this week, so using adjectives and using these powerful verbs in our writing as well, making it a little bit more exciting to read. And we will be using questions, but they will be there as a pattern, so it's just an extra little thing to remember. So the first thing we want you to do this week is to go on a walk for your daily exercise on Monday. Now, when you're on your walk, if you could take pictures of 3 things or more if you want to that you see along the way. If you don't have a camera, you could just write some notes on a little piece of paper as you walk, or keep them in your mind ready for the rest of the week's learning. If you don't manage to get out for daily exercise on Monday, that is absolutely fine. You can have a look around at what you can see in the garden, or even just looking out the window at the front of your house onto the road to see what you can see there. So Tuesday, you are going to be using the things that you saw on Monday on your walk. So here you can see I saw a bumblebee sitting on a flower there. I saw a dog when I was walking through the park, and I saw a police car that was whizzing past, sirens blaring, making lots and lots of noise. So they were 3 things that I saw. I saw lots of other things, but they were the 3 I wanted to go for. When you're having a look at this week, Tuesday's lesson, you are going to be thinking about adjectives for each of the things you saw. So the things that can be used to help you, we have got a writing checklist here. There is a little box about adjectives, so it tells you a little bit about what you might think, how you might describe your nouns, the things you saw. So what does it look like? What colours is it? What does it feel like? And what does it sound like? We also, sorry to have a little move around here, we've got, I'll put that in there with you, a word mat in your folder for Tuesday with lots of alternative adjectives. So we'll have a go at using those in a moment. So apologies, here we go. So a bumblebee, I think a bumblebee is quite stripy. So I'm going to write that down, stripy. As I'm doing this on a computer, it might be a little bit more fiddly than when you do it, writing it down by hand. The colours of this bee, black and yellow, so I'm going to write that down, black and yellow. Oh, make sure I spell that correctly. Let's have another little think about what we could see. All the wings on this bumblebee are see-through, so I'm going to write that see-through wings. I will add the word wings on there because it's not the whole of the bumblebee that is see-through, it's just the wings. I might think about the sharp sting at the end of its bottom, but again I can't really see that there, so I'm not going to write that down. Okay, it's quite a small bumblebee, isn't it? So I'm going to write small down here, but small, I could probably make that adjective a bit more exciting. So let's have a look on my alternative adjectives over here. I'm going to get a little bit closer, see if that helps. Oh, there we go. So small here. I've got meagre, ooh, modest, petite, minute. Ooh, tiny, that's a good one. I think I'm going to use tiny. So, oh, apologies, it does like to move around my computer. So we'll put this here, And I'll write tiny there. I like that adjective. I didn't feel the bumblebee. I didn't want to hurt it, but it looks quite fluffy, so I'm going to write that just in case. Now, the last thing I want you to do today, on Tuesday, when you have written your adjectives, is to write a sentence using that adjective. So if we again look at the writing checklist, we have our adjective here goes before the noun, and we need to put a verb in there as well to make it a sentence. So the big cat is sleeping. So what's the bumblebee doing? I'd say he's sitting, isn't he? He's sitting. So where's my adjectives first? So a tiny, my noun, which is the bumblebee. And what is he doing? He is sitting. Full stop at the end. So there is my sentence. A tiny bumblebee is sitting. So you would do this, boys and girls, for all three or more, if you chose to do more, of your things you saw on your walk. Lovely. So next box I'm going to look at is here. Now, Wednesday, your job is to up-level your verbs. Now, that's a very posh way of saying make your verbs a little bit more exciting. So here we go. I've got my sentence again, or I've added on a flower, so sitting on a flower. What is my verb in this sentence? It is sitting. So I'm going to up-level that verb. I'm going to make it more exciting. Let's have a little look. Let me just move this over to there. Let's have a little look at my verb mat. I haven't got anything to do with sitting, so I'm going to have to think for myself here. Oh, sorry. A tiny bumblebee is sitting, so I need to make sitting more exciting. Could be laying, but he's not laying, is he? Perching, that's a good one. A tiny bumblebee perching on a flower, so I'm going to change that there, perching on a flower. Looking at the dog quickly, you would do this for all three again, but with dog, walking is on my alternative verb mat, so I'm going to have a little zoom in. And here's walked, so I'm going to change that there, but we've got trudged, crept, I don't think he's creeping, strolled, plodded. Maybe the dog plodded. So, a friendly dog plodding down the road. Lovely. So that would be our Wednesday lesson, making your verbs a little bit more exciting. And you can add more to your sentence. As you know, before on Tuesday, I just had a tiny bumblebee sitting, but now it's sitting on a flower. I've added a little bit more detail. Up to you if you would like to do that. So the big one now is our big write on Thursday. Thursday, we are going to start with the pattern of a train ride. We're off on a journey. Instead of out of town, it's around the town because we're not meant to go very far from home, are we? So we're off on a journey around the town. What shall I see? What shall I see? So I'm going to go back to my first sentence there. A tiny bumblebee perching on a flower. Got another noun there. I might add another adjective in just to make it more exciting. So a tiny bumblebee perching on a pink flower. I'm going to finish that with a comma because it's not quite the end of the sentence, but we do start with a capital letter at the beginning there. That's what I see. Oh, that's what I see. Full stop at the end. Now, if we look on our writing checklist, you can see our key vocabulary, what shall I see, with our question mark, and that's what I see with a full stop, so you can use those to help you. Do remember your think, say, hear, write, check as you are going as well. So, that's the start of my writing. We're off on a journey around the town. What shall I see? What shall I see? A tiny bumblebee perching on a pink flower. That's what I see. That's what I see. So where am I going to go next? My next thing I saw was a dog. Now I think a dog I might see in a park. So instead of down the road, maybe he's plodding across the grass. I'm going to think about changing that as I write it. So where am I going next? I'm going to go into the park. So around the corner and into the park, comma, because it's the end of my line, and start with a capital letter for what shall I see? What shall I see? So what am I going to see? I'm going to go back to my sentence over here. A friendly dog plodding across the grass. I'm going to change it to. So here we go. A friendly dog plodding across the grass, comma at the end, and finishing off with our pattern here. I've had what shall I see for this verse, so it's that's what I see. That's what I see, comma, that's what I see, full stop, and I can have a little read through. Around the corner and into the park, what shall I see? What shall I see? A friendly dog plodding across the grass. That's what I see. That's what I see. Now, in a train ride, these two words would rhyme. Park and grass don't really rhyme. Town and flower don't really rhyme either. But if you wanted to make them rhyme, you could. So that would be Thursday's lesson. Friday then is our edit and our publish. So you can choose to publish, just write it extra neatly on your paper. You might like to make a book again. You might like to act it out to your family and perform it. We'd love to see some videos on your dojos, but make sure when you're editing, sorry, I'm whizzing through these pages again. If you are editing, please make sure you use your checklist. Have I got adjectives in there? Have I got powerful verbs? Have I tried to sneak a conjunction in there somewhere? And am I using my key vocabulary correctly? I cannot wait to see all of your poems. And I hope you have a lovely time doing it, boys and girls. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.